Hello, welcome to IBC 2013 here at the Grass Valley stand. I'm Matt Allard, Vice President of Marketing Operations, and we'll give you a quick overview of what's new here, starting with our cameras. Last year here at IBC we introduced the LDX series, CMOS camera, superior imaging, software upgradable, along with a dockable transmission station for both triax and fiber. This year what we've done is introduced its extension, which is the LDX Compact. So it's basically a block camera, so different form factor for everything from Steadicam to slide cams, robotics, fixed camera positions like this. The great thing about it is it's the same exact imaging technology as the regular LDX series. So that means controlling, mixing and matching, shading, all of that sort of thing can be done in conjunction with one camera platform. We've also introduced a new OLED-based viewfinder. So for things like sports applications where you've got real demands for fast refresh, viewing angle, things like that, you've got a superior viewfinder solution for the camera. Another great product in the Australian market is Edius, and this summer we introduced Edius 7. Edius 7 is now a 64-bit application, and we're showing here at IBC 2013 real 4K editing. So we've got 4K editing, we can interact with DaVinci color correction, Blackmagic 4K I/O boards, so that we have a complete 4K editing solution. Another interesting thing about this release of Edius is third-party hardware support. So in addition to Blackmagic, we're also supporting Aja and Matrox for hardware I/O support on Edius. So talking about editing, the next product we'll discuss is GVStratus. So GVStratus is a whole framework for non-linear production tools. So we're talking about content ingest, content management, being able to do logging, tagging, playout control in a newsroom, in a studio, a whole bunch of different environments. But of course, part of one of those tools you want is editing. But in addition to Grass Valley Edius editing, we also have been supporting Final Cut for some time. And at the show, we're showing the integration of Adobe Premiere for editing, as well as Avid Media Composer and Avid News Cutters. Stratos is also showing multi-site for the first time. This allows from remote sites to be able to allow users to be able to remotely browse and transfer content from multiple locations. We also have enhanced multi-platform distribution. So one of the real challenges is that more and more with broadcasters is not only do I need to package up my content into nice production for television channels, but I also want to be able to package content for my web channels and for my mobile channels. So we've introduced a rules engine, an automated way to be able to go out to transcoding such as Carbon Coder or Telestream Vantage so that you can push your content automatically in the background to various destinations and have that content ready to publish on those various types of channels. So moving along, Stratos of course needs an infrastructure for input and output, storage. So K2 is basically the infrastructure that we use for servers and storage. And in addition to that application, we also do replay. So we have K2 Dyno, a touchscreen controller, metadata integration, and the new feature that we're introducing here is something called Shareflex. So that basically if you have multiple replay systems and you want from one controller and one operator to be able to go out and get the content, playlists, highlights, clips, and even the record channels from another server, you have that capability simply by connecting one server to the other, putting a software license in there, standard gigabit Ethernet connection, and you're able to share all those resources and content. On the server side itself, what we're doing is showing some new format support, ABC long op, and for the first time ABC Intra 1080p 50 and 60. So on production switchers or vision mixers, depending on what name you want to use, of course, we've had Carrera and Cayenne for a few years now. What's been new, that NAB, we introduced the K-frame processing unit. Comes in 2 different sizes. Since June, we've shipped about 75 of those units. Well, it gives you larger I/O, more processing for keyers, more ME, and more DPM for both 2D and 3D effects. So we're also showing for the first time at IBC a new product, GVDirector, which is just going into beta and will be shipping at the end of this year. GVDirector is for live production, so it's a non-linear live production system that's all in one. Basically what you get is switching, 4 in, 2 out, you get clip recording, clip playback, you have an integrated multi-viewer, and very sophisticated effects and graphics, all in one concise system. And one of the big differences about GVDirector is you get a really great, elegant user interface, not just on the software, but we've developed a great panel that right up in the front, you've got a 10-inch touchscreen for navigation and operations, along with assignable buttons with OLED displays so that a user is able to designate what function they want on one button. In addition, one of the big differences in terms of workflow is that you're able to take all of the graphics you want, effects and transitions, and create them in a application that comes standard with a product called GV Composer. And so all those things can be done offline, designed, planned out, and then you simply import all those things into the product and you're ready to go at the live event. So for broadcast infrastructure, which is all the sort of in-between things, we have a couple of new things. We have some new product enhancements for the Trinix multi-viewer with alarms and notifications and layouts. But we have a completely new product in this area called Command Center. The Command Center is basically a broadcast infrastructure control solution. It's designed for allowing you to do facility management in terms of monitoring, diagnostics, workflow management, warnings, notifications. So it works not just with Grass Valley, but a whole range of third-party devices for a complete control solution. It's a great, flexible product, just like Stratos, in the way that you're able to go in and create a whole series of custom user interfaces depending on the requirements of that particular facility.
Working harder.